Hi guys, welcome back to Nant, or Not a Nail Tech if you haven't been here before. So I'm going to start with Barley Fields and Shy Away, and I'm going to be mixing them together today because I want a really neutral beigey colour for the background. This is my inspo. I'm going to be doing some grid and splodge nails which look really cool. But I didn't want anything too pinky or too yellowy, so I just mixed them together. And because I don't want it to be totally opaque, I'm just adding in some top coat and giving it a really good mix. And then I'm just popping on a really thin, smooth layer onto the nail. I want everything to be really smooth and graphic. I don't want anything to be too 3D on the base of this because we're going to have some 3D elements at the end. I wanted the background of this to look a little bit like old paper. That's why I've gone with this beigey colour. And now I'm happy with that. I've cured it for 60 seconds and I'm going in with our ultra matte coat. And when I'm doing any form of detailed work or line work, I much prefer to work on a matte base because it means the gel polishes are less likely to slide about and they'll just stay wherever I put them. Now that's cured for 60 seconds, I'm using Serious Black and this is going to make our grid. So I've popped some of that on a palette and taken a really long fine detail brush. The longer the better because it means your lines will be much smoother. As you can see here, this is in real time as well. If you look how quick that is to actually get a really smooth line. So I'm just going in and I'm doing all of my vertical lines first. So I'm just trying to get them equal. Going vertical is much easier because there's a less of a curve to the nail, whereas when I do the horizontal ones you'll be able to see it's a little bit trickier, so I've given myself some grid lines to help with that later. So like I say, just trying to keep them nice and evenly spaced as we go through the design, and I'm just going to do the same on the other side now. Also, I have some really funky nails on, as you can see, and it's quite funny because the dice, when they're the right way around, look very much like dice, and when they're not, they look a lot like googly eyes. And I'm just going in to do the last vertical line on the nail before I cure it for 60 seconds. I just wanted to make sure that all of the lines I do next don't smudge any of the previous lines, and if I do anything wrong and have to wipe it off, it means that all of the vertical lines are nice and secure on the nail. You can see that first line is just nice and central, and again just going back in and trying to make sure all the lines are going to be nice and evenly spaced out. And because there's such a curve to the nail, like I said earlier, I'm going in and I'm just adding in some little markers to help me place where I'm going to put the lines. As you'll be able to see as this nail tutorial goes on, I get more and more gel polish on my actual nail, so please ignore that because I'll wipe it off later. Now I'm just going in towards the top and just marking where I want those lines, and again just taking it nice and slowly. I've sped this up a little bit, but take it nice and slowly because you don't want to rush any of this. Now I'm happy with that. I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds before going back in with our ultra matte coat because I want this base to be nice and smooth and nice and matte before we put our 3D elements on it. I've cured that for 60 seconds, and next I am mixing some of our Clear as Day Builder Gel with Gilt Trip, which is honestly one of the most beautiful blue colours I've ever seen. I love Gilt Trip. And I'm just going to blend it all together nice and smooth, and this is just going to mean that we can use Gilt Trip as a 3D builder gel rather than painting it on at the end. It'll make it nice and easy. So I'm just going to scoop up a good amount of that product before placing it on the nail, as you can see. And with builder gel, it's not always the easiest to place exactly where you want, but it's a good job for this that is abstract. It makes it much easier. But make sure you twist that brush and don't get any splodges anywhere you haven't intended them to go, because it can be a little bit drippy. I'm just popping a second one on down at the bottom there, and I have actually made a full set of these nails, so I will be showing you that soon. Now that's cured for 60 seconds, I'm going to go in with some top coat, but just over the splodges that we've done, just so there's no tacky layer left on them. These nails are giving such an 80s nostalgia vibe to me. I'm just going to pop a little bit more on the other blob at the bottom there before I pop them in the lamp for 60 seconds. And there we have it. There's the final nail, and I'm about to show you in a second the full set. There we go. Let me know what you think, guys. Did I do a good job of these ones? And if you want any of the products that we've used today, they'll be listed down below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we shall see you next time. Bye.